Welcome to Richard Mabey Presents.
Hello, YouTube friends. This is Richard Mabey with Richard Mabey Presents. It is Saturday, September 20th, 2025 at 1:05 in the afternoon. I'm in the clubhouse. And I was going to film out in the breezeway, and everybody's out there, and all my neighbors are out there doing yard work, and I feel so self-conscious. I set the camera up, and I end up talking to myself, and they all look at me. Then the dog park is a stone's throw away from my house, so they come by with the dogs, and they stand there in the road, like 3 or 4 of them, and they talk, and and I know they're talking about me. Look at the nut. He's talking to himself. Should we consult with the HOA president about this guy? So anyway, been reading the Good News Bible, and as you know, a couple of weeks ago I was reading the book of Matthew, and I've come back to reread Matthew. So I've been grooving on the book of Matthew. I got the Homestead Miami baseball cap on. Now, Homestead Florida. I really want to get there before I pass on to the heavenly worlds, because that's where that fellow Edward, and he had a real long last name. Anyway, he built that coral castle, and to this day, they don't know how he did it, because the rocks are like 6 tons each, and he moved them around, and he made these he made a beautiful rock chair. He had a beautiful rock trestle bridge thing. Beautiful things out of this rocks that were like half a ton each. So they still, to this day, the scientists, the physicists, the academic gurus, they don't know how he did it. Oh, I got the wash in. I'm doing the whites. So I got a lot of wash to do today. So I got so much to do. I got this cord, my extension cord. I want to wrap that. My dad used to always say, always take the time to wrap up your extension cord nice, and you'll be, life would be a lot smoother if you wrap it up real nice, and like the last 3 or 4 feet, tie that around, and everything in life will be better. So I really have to do that. I got so much to do. So anyway, Good News Bible here, and I'm just gonna. My philosophy is, I read 100 pages. I read 80 pages. I'm blah blah. Yeah. Hey. Just if reading 4 or 5 verses is better than reading nothing, and that's my philosophy. Okay, so this is Matthew 6. Matthew 6, verses 19 through 20. I really should have brought my magnifying glass. I should have brought my magnifying glass. Riches in heaven. And this is Jesus speaking. Do not store up riches for yourself here on earth, where moths and rust destroy, and robbers break in and steal. Instead, store up riches for yourselves in heaven, where moths and rust cannot destroy, and robbers cannot break in and steal. For your heart will always be where your riches are. Beautiful verse. Beautiful verse. Beautiful verses. I love it. I just love it. This is got the Good News Bible here, and well read. You can see I try every day. I try to read a little bit of the Bible. My philosophy is, you're better off. I'm going to sit down and read the Bible 100 pages. No, sit down and read 5 or 6 verses. It's better than reading nothing. So don't overwhelm yourself. Boy, it's busy out there. It's really busy. Oh, this door. These people here are such busybodies here. There's a cup right in my where my driveway meets my road there. That just, I got a glass door here, and they're just looking around. Maybe I'll read some more. I'm really grooving on the book of Matthew today. I'm gonna read some more. Okay, here's another one. Matthew 6 again, 22 to 23. Matthew 6, verses 22, 23, subtitled "The Light of the Body." The eyes are like a lamp for the body. If your eyes are sound, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are no good, your body will be in darkness. So if the light in you is darkness, how terribly dark it will be. And I think that what Jesus is talking about is, keep your eyes on the light. Keep your eyes, focus on. This is the strangest. I don't know if it came on the camera. A tree limb just fell and landed on the top of the roof here. Right in the backyard, there's this huge, it must be like 4 stories high, this tree. Here comes some more busybodies. They just stand there and stare at me, Oh, look at the nut, he's talking to himself again. Oh man, I really feel that. It's not easy being a YouTuber. It's not easy being a YouTuber. Oh, I got the Camp Levine shirt on. Boy Scout Camp Levine in Pennsylvania. All right, let me read some more here. The narrow gate. This is one of my favorites. The narrow gate. Matthew chapter 7, verse. Oh, I really need the magnifying glass. 13 and 14. See my philosophy? Better off to read a few verses than say, oh, I'm going to sit down and read 80 pages. No. Sit down, read 4 or 5 verses, think about them, contemplate on them, pray about them. This is like my clubhouse is like my prayer chamber. This is like, my clubhouse is like Batman's Batcave. My clubhouse is like Superman had the Fortress of Solitude up at the North Pole. You know what I mean? I think Iron Man had like a big garage that he worked in. So that's what it's like to me. You know what I mean? Flash, I don't know what Flash had. I don't think Flash had like a little place where he got his thoughts together. I don't think Flash had that. But as I say, Batman had the Batcave. Superman had his Fortress of Solitude. Iron Man had that garage he used to work in and figure stuff out. As Tony Stark, he was a genius. And for me, it's my clubhouse. It's my prayer, my where I read the Bible, I pray, I contemplate. I'm all. There's an energy in this clubhouse. You know what I mean? Where am I now? The narrow gate. Matthew 7 verses 13 and 14. I really should have brought my magnifying glass. The narrow gate. Go in through the narrow. This is Jesus speaking. Go in through the narrow gate, because the gate to hell is wide, and the road that leads to it is easy, and there are many who travel it. But the gate to life is narrow, and the way that leads to it is hard, and there are few people who find it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, here we go. Another one. Oh, I love these little. As I say, people. I'm in church and Sundays. Oh, I read 563 pages of the Bible. No, what's the point if you're not contemplating it? You read the Bible, you contemplate, you pray about it. what's the point? We're not reading War and Peace here. Let's get through it as fast as we can. A tree and its fruit. Again, this is Jesus speaking. Matthew 7 verses 15 through 20. A tree and its fruit. Be on your guard against false prophets. They come to you looking like sheep on the outside, but on the inside, they are really like wild wolves. You will know them by what they do. Thorn bushes do not bear grapes, and briars do not bear figs. A healthy tree bears good fruit, but a poor tree bears bad fruit. A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a poor tree cannot bear good fruit. And any tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. So then you will know the false prophets by what they do. It's just some words to think on, Yeah, I have had this. Let me see here. I had this. 1971. I had this. I remember. I've had this since my senior year of high school, and what do you call it? It was like the Bible I always read. In when I went to community college for 2 years before going on further on my academic studies. So what happened? It was County College of Morris. It was a few miles from my house, so I had a Ford Falcon, and drive to the college and drive home. So sometimes I'd have a break. So what I used to do, they had like a little area there between the academic science building, between the library and the gymnasium. There was like a little space, a couple, they had little benches left, and I'd eat on my lunch by myself, that little park bench thing, a little bench, and looked out, beautiful pond, looked out to this beautiful pond, and I'd sit there eating my lunch. I used to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because peanut butter and jelly doesn't go bad when it's in the car. A peanut butter and jelly sandwich, 3 oatmeal cookies, an apple, and a thermos. A thermos of juice, apple juice, or iced tea or something. So I'd sit on the bench. I didn't want to spend a lot of money going to the cafeteria. That added up. I was working at the A&P. I worked at the A&P. I was working 32 hours a week at the A&P, plus going to school full time. And keeping on the dean's list, So anyway, so I eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, look out to the lake, and read the Bible. And no one, people walk by, but there was the bench, the one bench, my favorite bench, was set so that it was catty corner. In the back was, people are walking back and forth between the library and the gymnasium, and vice versa. But the bench was situated so that the back of the bench. So I was facing the pond, so people, I just was left alone, and I had that time. So, yeah. I did have some other things I wanted to do. I have a new addition to the clubhouse, and I found the Winn-Dixie card. I thought for sure I lost it. The Winn-Dixie number 60 car. It's a beautiful car here. Winn-Dixie number 60. Look at the back of that. It's a beautiful car. Look at that. So I'm going to put that up in the clubhouse shelf here. The Winn-Dixie number. I thought for sure I lost it. Look at that. Look at that car. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful car. So I'll put that up on the shelf. I gotta clean this clubhouse. I really gotta clean this clubhouse up. It's getting too much stuff. So I gotta work on that. So I gotta. My dad used to say, just don't leave the cord all discombobulated. Always do it nice, and take that last 2 or 3 feet of the cord, or 2 feet of the cord, and wrap it around, and then tie a little knot at the end. And life will always go better if your extension cords are all neatly tied up. And so I'm going to do that. I'll do that later today. So I got a lot to do. I think I'm going to read my Bone comic book here. I love Bone. It's the cutest little comic book in the world. Bone Comics. You can see this guy. He gets himself into some fixes there. He's got this is Bone here. This is Bone here, and he has a crush on this little girl here. She's some kind of he thinks of her as a princess. This little girl here, and this is the girl's grandma here. They get in some fixes. There they are. The monsters are chasing Bone and his little girlfriend and grandma. But they always it's like Lassie or Rin Tin Tin. They always come out victorious. But I love it. Bone Comics. If you see a Bone comic book, you're at the comic book store or a comic book show, and you're looking through the 50-cent boxes and the dollar boxes, and you see a Bone comic book, grab it up, because pick it up and don't steal it, buy it. And because these are becoming more and more. They didn't print many of these. This is printed by Cartoon Books, self-published by Jeff Smith. And he didn't do the big runs like Marvel and DC do. So yeah, these were printed in the early '90s, and they're getting harder and harder to find. So if you see one for 50 cents or a dollar, by all means grab it up, because these things are going for 40, 50, 60 bucks now at the comic book store. So they're very rare now. They're getting very rare. So that's my tip of the day. So as I say, take some time today, read the Bible. Don't I gotta read 100 pages. No, read 4 or 5 verses like I did here, and it's a good thing to do. Read the Bible, pray. This is my little sanctuary here. People say, "Oh, how can an old clubhouse be a sanctuary?" Because it's my sanctuary, It's my sanctuary. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be so pretty. It's my sanctuary. You know what I mean? So, as always, thank you for watching. I go through. Sometimes I forget the ending. Like I'm getting old. And I read where when you have HCM, it'll start to affect your memory, and I'm noticing that, So anyway, I study HCM 3 or 4 hours a day, and I'll be on the computer studying the human heart and studying HCM and studying about cutting edge therapies for HCM. And my sister Patty will say, "Are you on the computer studying HCM again?" So what are you gonna do? So keep a good thought. Stay positive, stay healthy. This is Richard Mabey signing off. As always, thank you for watching. Bye for now.